So they told you the reason why you're not as successful as you want to be is because the algorithm is broken. And it feels like somehow the algorithm of life has just been stacked against you. Well, my gorgeous soul, today's your lucky day, because over here we don't try to chase or appease the algorithm. We don't chase, we attract. Because on this channel we've learned that we don't chase, we attract. We attract all our manifestations: love, our professional life, finances, our dream bodies, and states of mind. And by the end of this piece of content, I will have not only taught you about the all-important law of assumption, but I will also show you actual real-life examples on how you can apply this law of manifestation. Because everyone talks a big deal about manifestation and just manifest this, manifest that, while conveniently leaving out the how. But today I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do. Because if there's one thing that I know for sure is that by the time you've gotten to this video, you'll have probably watched, consumed, and listened into hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of content, trying to figure out how you can outsmart the algorithm and finally create the life of your desires. So I don't have to repeat the basics to you. Of course you know to pick, if you're looking to grow on social media so your business can finally thrive, of course you know to pick engaging video titles. You most likely already know to add timestamps for better engagement, as well as SEO optimization of any of your videos or content. One of the practical applications is for you to also add relevant links that allows you to outsmart the algorithm. What are relevant links, you may ask? Well, links that give people more information of the topic that you're sharing with them. And the smartest way for you to outsmart the algorithm is to have a free lead magnet. This could be a free PDF that people can download. It's a value exchange in exchange for their contact details, their email address. This way you don't have to have a huge social media following, you don't have to appease the algorithm, you don't have to have a lot of subscribers, nor do you have to pay for ads, because now you are in direct contact with a potential new customer by giving them the value through the free PDF, the free lead magnet, which is already an amazing display of value. As they say in modern manifestation, like attracts like. So when you put out value, expect to receive more value in return. And last but not least, before we delve deeply into the law of assumption, you already know this, using relevant hashtags. Now let's be real, you probably already knew all of this stuff, and if not, now you know, but let's move into the actual act of manifestation. And that is where we're going to start with the most important foundation of your manifestations, which is always, every single time, unfailingly, your mindset. Remember, my gorgeous soul, over here we don't chase, but we attract. And in order to attract the type of life and success that you desire, it is important that you start your business upon providing a real service to your community. Because there is only one solution to every problem, and that solution is change of attitude. By following the law of assumption, you can change any situation that you're currently unhappy with. Because your current situation is only a manifestation of the concept that you have of yourself. Law of assumption. And with the law of assumption, I'm going to teach you how, if you want to change the situation that you're in, you can easily and instantly do so by using the law of assumption. Because you do so by learning to change the concept that you have of yourself. And by the way, this works for any area of life. If you desire to change the circumstances and outcomes that you are currently experiencing within your business because you're just not happy with the results, you can do so by learning to change the concept that you hold of your business. You have to understand that change doesn't just happen by impulse, but only by change of your consciousness. Now, you may fail to achieve or sustain a particular vibration or frequency of consciousness. Not to get real woo-woo with you, but if you believe in energies, then you understand just how important your energy is in order for you to produce the effects in your life that you desire. So once you have learned that consciousness is the only reality and the sole creator of your world, once you have burned this into your entire being, then you understand that success and failure are entirely in your hands. And that, my gorgeous soul, makes you extremely dangerous. In the best possible way, of course. As the infamous Neville Goddard once said, live and act as though it were already realized. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live and act as though it were already realized. That is precisely how you create the reality of your desires and also the business of your dreams. Let's get into the etymology of the word assumption, shall we? Assumption comes from the Latin word assumere. So being derived from the Latin word assumere, we have two parts to this, which is ad, which means to or toward, and sumere, which means to take. And as a result, the literal Latin meaning is a taking up, or a taking to oneself. A taking up or a taking to oneself. So this law posits that the external world that you live in actually reflects your internal world. Because to take to oneself, to assume of oneself something, whatever you consistently believe to be true about yourself, your life, your circumstances, your business, whether that is good or bad, the law of assumption states that that must manifest into material. So understand how while society may have taught us that our imaginations are these fictitious spaces to almost be seen as something to not take too seriously, in actuality, your imagination and your thoughts are the most powerful way in order for you to bring your desires to fruition, and the only way, and actually the only way for you to produce any types of real life results in manifestation. It all starts in your head. Just think about it and look around yourself. Every single item that you see around you once started off as a figment of somebody's imagination. So in order to make the law of assumption work for you and to help you create a reality that you are actually destined to live, you have to start to assume new beliefs. And as promised, this is highly practical manifestation content, because what is the absolute most important for me is that you get results. Because one thing that I have understood is that the most powerful thing you can do is not appease the algorithm and get millions of views and thousands of comments, but it's to actually help to guide people through transformation. And that is exactly what every single piece of content that I create for you is designed to do. And I want you to carry that mindset into your business as well. So whether you are a coach, an entrepreneur, an aspiring YouTube creator in the health or wellness space, put the transformation at the forefront. Forget about the subscribers count and the view count. I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. Let's get even more deeply into this. So first, there is a required state of... So the first step is to enter the required state of consciousness for your desires. You cannot manifest a successful business if you are feeling self-conscious or you are feeling like an imposter. So you're going to want to be on the same frequency as the person that you desire to become, right? If that is, for example, a successful person, you're going to ask yourself, what traits does the most successful version of myself actually embody and carry with them every single day? It could be, for example, that you are healthy, you've got healthy habits. So you go on your 10K steps walks. You eat healthy foods, you drink the green juices, you don't skip out on your supplements, perhaps you meditate, you go to therapy, perhaps you've joined my community, you're being coached by me, that makes you feel successful. Which, by the way, you guys always ask me how we're able to work together, and I've got 2 ways in which we can connect. Number one, every single business is able to invest in this and afford this, which is my Millionaire Muse Room. In there, we have live Q&As. You can ask me questions, and I've got hundreds of manifestation and business modules ready for you to take advantage of, so you can create an online business that is not only sustainable, but unifies your spirituality with traditional business advice, so you don't have to feel like you're that woo-woo friend that has a pretend spiritual business, but you are actually getting real life results. And of course, you guys, I have built a custom app, so you can download it onto your app as well. You can watch the modules on the go and all of my manifestation and business masterclasses, and use the community in there in which I hang out every single day, where we unify our love and affinity for crystals, manifestation, with building a legit business for ourselves. You can find that linked in the description box, and the other option is one-on-one psychic CEO coaching, which is application only. You can find the application form below. I only work, obviously due to time constraints, I have to be very selective about who I work with one-on-one, and also due to the fact that your results are number one for me. I only work with those of you who I know I can generate incredible results for. And for all of you who are still picking your niche and you don't even know where to start, I have got a PDF below. It's completely free, this downloadable, with over 100 different online business ideas that you can download. It's in the description box, and I have a second PDF with my biggest manifestation hack and my personal book recommendation reading list for any of you who are into manifestation. You don't know where to start, you'd like to read some books, and you're not sure what the best literature on this is. You can find that in the description box below as well. But coming back to our law of assumption, the second step is to persist in your assumption. So regardless of whether you encounter challenges or what seems like a setback, you have to persist in your assumption until it has hardened into the 3D reality and you have created what you are dreaming of and what you truly desire. So what this means is that the certainty of the truth of this law must be upheld by you. Despite any challenge that you face, you have to rest in the consciousness of the law of assumption, of assuming that that which you desire is already yours. And if you've tried this before and you found that your assumptions weren't fulfilled, it's often because of weakness or error in the energy that you are emitting, you having doubts in between, giving up on your journey. And whenever you succumb to these emotions, which is completely human, by the way, we've all been there, but what that does is it not only resets the dial back to zero, but it also chips away at your self-esteem. And whenever that happens, you're taking additional steps backward. So moving forward, I urge you to ask yourself, when you are on the brink of giving up, is whatever challenge or difficulty is before you truly worth giving up on all of the progress that you've made up until this point? Or do you choose that regardless of what life throws at you, you will continue to assume that you are this person that you know you can be? Because I need to let you in on an all-important manifestation secret that nobody ever shares with you. And that's the fact that the speed at which your assumptions and your manifestation become a reality is in direct correlation and proportion to the naturalness of the state of consciousness that you are now assuming. So the more natural that it feels for you to be successful, the more natural that it feels for you to have the business of your dreams, to have the income that you desire as yours, to have a partner that loves and respects you, the more you make it natural, the more you assume that this is just what you deserve, the faster all of your manifestations will come to fruition. So when your manifestations are taking a very long time to show any type of 3D results, the reason is usually that consciously or subconsciously, you don't fully believe in your assumption. Because remember, that what we are, that only is what we can see. Therefore, I urge you to start building your own world. As fast as you conform yourself and your life to the pure ideas that you have within your mind, the faster it will become your reality. And I will now give you some practical ways in which you can manifest this. So excited, you guys. I love art classes. So the number one area of life that everyone always asks me about, that everyone always wants support in, is business and finances. And I'm talking personal finances. I want you to know that applying the law of assumption in business and finances requires a different level of confidence from you. So what you're going to do from the moment you wake up in the morning is to implement the routine of the CEO version of you, the psychic CEO version, if you will. If that begins by you doing a meditation first thing in the morning, don't shy away from the task altogether because you're worried that you're going to be inconsistent. Instead, the moment that you wake up, do a little 20-second meditation in your bed. It is impossible for you to not be able to keep up with that task. And what does it immediately do? It puts you in a state of consciousness and a state of confidence that you've already done the task. If you can do 20 seconds, then you're probably going to do a minute, 5 minutes, and before you know it, you have habits stacked onto waking up, a routine that allows you to implement the consciousness of success. And when you wake up every single morning assuming the law of assumption, right, that you are successful, what's going to happen? Your business and your personal finances, as a result, are going to be far more successful than waking up and already feeling overwhelmed because you feel like you're chronically behind. So set yourself up to win. Behave as though you are this person who is already successful by implementing mini habits. From visualizations right from your bed for 20 seconds unfailingly every single morning, to having apple cider vinegar for better digestion as soon as you walk into your kitchen, to looking at your goal or vision board while you're brushing your teeth. So unfailingly, you have already done that visualization and meditation. Perhaps it's important for you to move. Get a walking pad. I got myself a standing desk, a walking pad when I'm doing emails in the morning, when I am getting back to you guys, when I am posting within my community. I am actually on my walking pad. I've already clocked 5,000 steps before it's 9 a.m. And what about it? I assume I am fit, successful, and healthy. Now next, my gorgeous soul, let's talk about love and relationships. And I'm probably going to offend a few people who don't understand the concept of healing and self-worth. But in love and relationships especially, it is important that you learn to assume that you are a person who deserves the treatment that you desire. Now that means if the treatment that you desire is to be with somebody who is loyal, who is emotionally intelligent, perhaps you want them to be successful financially or in where they're at on their career ladder, because you want to be able to talk to them in a way that you can talk to someone who isn't as successful. Perhaps you want to build a family with your soulmate and be with someone where the chances are extremely high that you will have a stress-free, soft life for yourself, your kids, and future generations because you picked well, because you didn't settle in your love life, because you chose a relationship through the law of assumption of assuming that you deserve no less. And let me tell you, when you use the law of assumption, what it does is it clears out a lot of unnecessary chatter. So in love, you will have less attention. But this is about quality, not quantity. Now, assuming that you deserve a superstar of a partner, husband, or wife, that means that you are not entertaining every person who shows interest in you. You are remaining within the assumption. You are remaining in the energy of assumption that the right person will find you at the right time, which means that just as in our first example with business and finances, you're no longer wasting day after day in the same pattern that no longer works. You're doing the same for love and relationships. You are no longer wasting your time assuming or trying to manifest someone that cannot grow outside of the confines of their current consciousness rather than trying to fix them. You are assuming that the best will find you, and that means that you are not wasting time in unfulfilling relationships or situationships. And then lastly, let's talk about the third but probably most important area of your life in which you want to be able to manifest using the law of assumption, which is your health and body. Now, why this is so important is because if you're not feeling healthy in your body, if you're not feeling good in your own skin, you will not be able to be an amazing leader in business, nor will you be able to be creatively liberated to implement what needs to be for your business to be successful. If you're not healthy or confident in your own body, how can you be in a loving, mutually beneficial relationship if the relationship that you have with yourself is already a battle? Now, in order to beat the actual algorithm as well as life's algorithm when it comes to your health and your body, I recommend you unfollow anybody that makes you feel self-conscious about your body image and your looks on social media. You are probably already thinking of certain accounts. Get rid of those. I want you to assume that you are the beauty standard. I want you to assume that you are who is attractive, that you are the type of person that walks into a room and is magnetic and mesmerizing. When you assume that society's beauty standard can't get to you any longer, because regardless of what the current standard of beauty is, you hold true to yourself and your consciousness that you are deserving of love and respect and care because you are, so therefore you deserve, you will naturally start to behave like someone who has a very healthy relationship to their body and their fitness. You will start to look at certain foods and activities, and rather than looking at it as a comfort, that could be alcoholic beverages or unhealthy foods that you know won't make you feel good, like foods high in refined sugar, foods that are fried, that have ingredients that your body just doesn't tolerate. When you look at these experiences, going out late at night, drinking a lot, being hungover the next day, looking at it from the viewpoint, from the assumption that that is not the highest version of you, that is not creating the type of result that you desire, you also start to assume that those experiences are less desirable, and you start to assume that you are the person who replaces those low energetic experiences with going out for walks with your friends instead, eating healthy leafy greens and making sure you're getting your proteins in, cooking at home instead of eating out because you have control over the ingredients that are within your food, and you understand that you have far more power about how you feel within your physical body, which then affects your psyche, which allows you to be successful in all areas of life by assuming the highest version of yourself, regardless of the activity that you're currently committed to. And this, my gorgeous soul, is precisely how you outsmart any algorithm, the algorithm of life, the algorithm of the internet. And through the law of assumption, you create your own world. You create your own desired reality. Wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, I'm sending you so much love right here from Zurich, Switzerland. Make sure you check out these videos for more practical ways in which you can use manifestation to create your dream life. And I'll connect with you in an upcoming piece of content.